Another day, another... Actually, there won't be any more. Hi, I'm Nappy Napkin. Welcome to the last part of the Tinkerbell retrospective. Every 972 years in Pixie Hollow, a bunch of things happen. For one, a colossal threatening storm of green consumes Pixie Hollow. Its lightning bolts lay havoc and aim to destroy everything. Second, a spectacular, also green comet passes by Pixie Hollow, and that awakens the beast. Fawn is trying to illegally smuggle animals again. She's been trying to take care of injured big animals like hawks and snakes that are generally predators of fairies, but Fawn takes care of them anyways. No one agrees with whatever Fawn's doing because of the animals she takes care of, and they're just very kind, and she promises to change. She then finds the Neverbeast and breaks the promise immediately. Endlessly curious about this new beast she's discovered, she decides to accompany it and observe it. The beast starts making peculiar, tall, imposing towers of rocks reaching into the sky. Fawn gathers up the gang and wants to show off Gruff, that's the name Fawn gives it, to Queen Clarion to show that it's harmless, and instead she meets Nyx, the leader of the Scout Fairies who did research on the beast. She puts forward an illustration, the prophecy of the Neverbeast. A green comet passes by Pixie Hollow which awakens the beast. He will start building giant rock towers, one in each season. The green clouds start appearing before the horizon, ready to engulf Pixie Hollow in a devastating lightning storm. Nyx proposes the beast is here to summon the clouds and bring doom to Pixie Hollow, while Fawn disagrees. Queen Clarion has no strong feelings one way or the other. These two fairies go their own separate ways to challenge each other's ideals. The Scout Fairies are trying to hunt it down, while Fawn is trying to protect the beast by misleading the Scout Fairies. Fawn and the beast get some shut-eye, but when they wake up, the beast disappears. It's too late anyways as they see green clouds start appearing over the horizon. Fawn meets up with Tinkerbell and they split up to find the Neverbeast. Tinkerbell finds it already built the tower in winter, and out of nowhere, it whips her with its tail, knocking Tinkerbell out. Fawn finds her unconscious and witnesses the beast transform and escape. Nyx, also present, instead of chase toward the beast, decides to help Fawn and Tinkerbell to the fairy ward. Fawn flies back out to try to find the beast, and after reuniting, a giant net traps the beast, and the Scout Fairies use nightshade powder to put it to sleep. Nyx used Fawn as bait for it to trap it. Nyx assumed if the beast was immobile it would stop the storm, and after harshly ordering it to stop, the storm still went on. But don't worry, she gets a bright idea. Fawn meets back up with her friends on the beast, and just about when they are gonna get zapped by lightning, the beast absorbed it. Fawn realizes the true purpose of it was to capture the lightning the storm made, and all the lightning was being captured by the towers. But sadly, the nightshade powder made it legally blind, so Fawn had to lead the beast to the towers. After 3 towers, the 4th tower is being pelted with boulders, destroying the tower, and we knew it was the Scout Fairies doing, thinking that would stop the storm. Instead, what they do was Fawn lead him to the center of the storm, and it would still catch all the lightning. It worked. Fawn dies. Beast revives her. Beast goes back into hibernation. And the end. So that was Harry Potter and the Legend of the Neverbeast, and as the last romp, the last fun adventure with the fairy crew, the last light being snuffed out by the Tinkerbell franchise. It was good. Now, I do have a lot of things to say about it. I didn't really come up with a straightforward moral, but here goes. This movie was about misinterpretation and the disparity of stubborn ideals. The misinterpretation was from the bizarre way the Elder Fairies of last generation Pixie Hollow, I assume, presenting the Neverbeast in a bad light. Like, if he's supposedly the savior of Pixie Hollow, maybe don't draw him as menacingly as possible with giant antlers and spiky teeth. You know, draw him actually saving it by collecting lightning bolts or whatever. Anyways, because of that awfully misrepresented drawing, there's naturally misinterpretations which lead them to have vastly different ideals on what to do with that information. It makes sense why Nyx would think to hunt down the beast. Look at this drawing. Do you think it won't try to destroy everything? Fawn actually sounds unreasonable, trying to protect this clearly dangerous beast. In fact, the movie itself is trying to make you feel like Fawn is just stubborn about the beast being good. When Tinkerbell the beast saved it from a falling tree until later to emphasize the point of the beast being evil, growing horns in this scene, and also the reveal of the beast's true purpose, more impactful. For a good chunk of the movie, you're led to believe by the movie that Fawn is the stubborn villain, by showing the beast to be more and more evil, with these green clouds showing up, concealing information, the beast transformation, and all that stuff, which in a way is kind of messed up. Speaking of ideals, you know who doesn't have any? Queen fucking Clarion. This supposed benevolent leader, when presented with a possible harm affecting all of Pixie Hollow, she's just like, you guys can figure it out. I guess she's supposed to be a fair leader, but really? You entrust these two fairies who have practically opposing ideals do whatever they want? You know that's called a conflict, and you're supposed to solve it, right? How the hell did Queen Clarion become Queen of Pixie Hollow? Who voted her? Maybe I should run for fairy politics. I guess what I'm saying is everyone in Tinkerbell, even the villains, have their own entitled ideal. They're always realistic and relatable, so much sometimes that the main character's stubbornness is the true villain. Don't be stubborn isn't even the moral, because the main character is always right in the end. It's also important to properly explain your ideal. I mean, when Fawn figured out the Neverbeast was to save Pixie Hollow, she could have warned Nyx beforehand so she didn't destroy that tower. Except Claire, and she's useless. Well, morals aside, I'm glad the Tinkerbell franchise ended on this one, because it pretty much cements the plot of the Tinkerbell movie. There's always one outlier fairy who presents an innovative idea to Pixie Hollow, or the fairy in question is obsessed with something disapproved of by fairy kind. No one agrees with said idea for being too dangerous. The situation arises to make the fairy prove herself, showing it off to Queen Clarion if possible. The situation turns into the worst case scenario. The fairy in question finds a solution and enacts it. Pixie Hollow accepts idea presented at the start. Of course, these are very different movies, handled in very different ways, but you can sort of see the seams that hold every movie together. They all have similar plot elements. Speaking of that, I'm furious at the absence of Zarina. Where's my pixie dust alchemy? Where's my fairy kind transmutation? Alright, I'm not glad it's over. You know why? I'll address the elephant in the room. The changing of protagonists. Tinkerbell gets replaced with the tomboyish Fawn. She pretty much fulfills all of Tinkerbell's roles perfectly, being obsessively interested in something and being sassy, I guess. She could even be more Tinkerbell than Tinkerbell is Tinkerbell. I will restate my opinion in the Pirate Fairy. Tinkerbell's sassiness was sacrificed so that the other fairies could shine. We've seen a more playful, joking Fawn in this movie, cracking quotes and quips. She was really entertaining and expressive that I didn't think we get to see in Tinkerbell. I don't know, someone might disagree, but that's just how I feel. I feel uncomfortable this one being the last movie, because we could see what the future Tinkerbell movies could have been. Since they're finally branching out and letting minor characters be the main character, we could have gotten movies for the rest of the fairy gang, like Vidya or Rosetta or Silvermist. I can't believe I forfeited our human right, our obligation to have a Silvermist movie. This is a huge bummer moment. Also, why is it still called Tinkerbell and the Legend of the Neverbeast? It should have been called Fawn and the Legend of the Neverbeast. She became the protagonist. Why? Okay, so from a personal enjoyment scale, it might be the most emotional Tinkerbell movie that's not rooted from nostalgia. The other movies feel like a light-hearted fun romp through the world with your favorite fairies, but this one, I mean, in a literal sense, has darker colors with the purpose to intimidate than the whole existence of the beast and the storm. That the emergence of a storm engulfing all of Pixie Hollow as a prophecy is pretty messed up. And I know the Lost Treasure I said was dark, but the difference was this time, instead of Tinkerbell being an idiot learning the consequence of her own actions, this time it's the laws of the universe that a giant green storm will destroy Pixie Hollow every 1,000 years, and it's no one's fault. It was just predestined, it will always happen. In Secret of the Wings, I thought it was just stupid that it was so fucking cold that it'd freeze over everything in Pixie Hollow. It was still caused by Tinkerbell's machine. In the Great Fairy Rescue, humans might find out about the existence of fairies, but they're still consolable, conscious beings able to converse. And in the Pirate Fairy, they're just pirates, but in the Legend of the Neverbeast, it's the force of nature actively conspiring against the existence of fairies. It's this gigantic, unstoppable force that happened to come together to inevitably destroy you. It's the harshness of the universe that's against you. That's it. Those are all my thoughts on all the Tinkerbell movies. I'm finished. My purpose has been fulfilled. I'll never be able to get horny ever again. I hope you didn't forget that was pretty much the whole reason I did this, by the way. I'll never be able to stare at Rosetta's thighs again, laugh at Silvermint's hot as hell airheadedness, fantasize about wanting Vidya to step on me, and have a never-ending unfulfilled hatred against Iridessa for the mere reason of being dark-skinned. Not only am I perfect, but also racist. Goodbye, my childbirth-hipped beauties. I will never forget you. I forgot about the shorts.